For over 50 generations, the people of Iremi and Awotile have been bound by hatred and violence. It is said that the blood spilled between them could flood the earth. A hatred so deep that it was not just a feeling, it was in their very bones. But the legend that truly sealed their fate began with a single act, an act that began in the heart of the royal palace of Iremi. Here is the story. Tutu, a native of Iremi, was not just beautiful, but a woman of grace. Her dance was her language and her beauty, a gift to the world. Her every step enchanted those who saw her, and in the hearts of many men, she became a dream. Many suitors sought her hand, but Tutu's heart was untouchable. She believed that one day, a true love would sweep her off her feet, a prince charming who would see beyond her beauty and cherish her soul. And then, fate intervened. She fell deeply in love with the Prince of Awotile, the King of Iremi, a powerful and ambitious ruler. He wanted more power and more land. He was driven by this ambition, even if meant going to war with his neighbors. The king spoke with urgency. "I need more power. The lands of Awotile and Iremi must be mine. Tell me, how can I become unstoppable?" He barked. The medicine man steps forward. His voice is raspy, filled with dread. "The answer lies in a virgin's blood. You must marry one and claim her as yours, body and soul. But beware, for if she is touched by any man but you, you will perish or lose your sanity." He answered. The king's eyes fell on Tutu, the village maiden. He knew she was the one. The king of Iremi's ambitions were limitless. He sought not just Tutu's beauty, but the power that came with her. The king's soldiers arrived Tutu's house, demanding her presence at the palace. Tutu's heart sinks as she realizes what was happening. But Tutu, caught between duty and desire, did not want to be another of the king's wives. She was a woman of spirit, not a pawn in the king's twisted game. Yet, against her will, she was forced into the palace. The king's dark desires were too powerful to resist. Knowing that Tutu's heart still belonged to the prince, the king, with the help of his medicine man, placed a magan on her. The magan would keep her bound to him, no matter what. The magan is an ancient sex control mechanism to prevent women from sleeping with other men. Any man that laid with a woman with a magan died mysteriously. But Tutu, unaware of the magan, secretly escapes the palace one night with the help of her personal guard. She runs through the forest, her heart filled with hope as she seeks the arms of the Prince of Awotile. Tutu arrives, breathless and desperate. She and the prince embrace, their love finally allowed to flourish. They share a passionate moment, but as they are in the throes of their love, as their love reached its peak, the prince suddenly choked, his face contorting in pain. He collapsed in Tutu's arms, his life slipping away. Tutu screams in horror, the sound echoing across the land. Oh, what a tragedy! The Prince of Awotile was next in line to be king after his father. He was the only son of the king. The prince's guards storm in and on. Seeing the prince lifeless, they strike Tutu with the edge of the sword. The death of the Prince of Awotile at the hands of his own love marked the beginning of an unrelenting cycle of bloodshed. And so, the blood feud between Iremi and Awotile was born. For 50 long years, the conflict between the two villages raged on, each side haunted by the tragic death of a prince and the loss of a love that could never be.